What's happening, boxing? What's happening, YouTube? And about that boxing. Man, today we are going to talk about none other than Terence Bud Crawford possibly facing Tszyu in Australia. Terence is willing to take that risk and going out to Australia to face undefeated 24-0 with 17 knockouts, Tszyu. All right. Now, Tim, the Soul Taker Tszyu, has called Terence Bud Crawford out. I think this really went down pretty much after he wasn't going to get the fight with Charlo. Currently, he is a WBO Super Welterweight champion of the world. All right. Now, if we look into that division, you'll see that basically at 154, there is a vacant IBF belt. So I don't know what the IBF is planning to do and setting up for that, but it's pretty amazing that it doesn't seem like anyone's interested right now in that vacant IBF strap, or maybe something's being set up. Maybe it's something that's going to be part of the new Al Heyman Amazon Prime. Maybe it'll be somebody will be fighting on the card for that belt. See what I mean? So you don't know what's going on, but all I know is that Terence Bud Crawford wants to move up to 154. He was going to face Jermell Charlo, but after that whooping that he just took from Canelo, right now, it's not the fight. I don't even think Jermell wants the fight. It's not the fight right now. Don't even know what's really going on with Jermell Charlo. I'll have to look more into it, but I know that WBO champion Tszyu is willing to fight, so he says. Now, in other news, as part of that Tszyu situation, there was just yesterday a report about OSBoxing.com reporting that Erickson Lubin basically withdrew from negotiations with Tszyu. But Lubin's team and Lubin say this is cap. He said, don't start Ish. I'll fight anybody. So Lubin and his team have really been denying these allegations and claims, and actually suggested that they were simply waiting for a date to be finalized, and they thought they had the fight in the bag. All of a sudden, Tszyu is talking about Terence Crawford. He's talking about Virgil Ortiz. He's talking about fighting somebody else at 154 other than the WBO's. I want to say he's a number 2 man. Lubin is the number 2 man right now. He's 26-2. And for some reason, this fight is being overlooked. And I'm going to tell y'all why it's being overlooked. Because Tszyu is looking for legacy fights. If you could put Terence Crawford on your resume, win or lose, this is a guy that's considered by many to be pound for pound number 1 in the sport of boxing. Even guys like Canelo say it.
I think they all deserve being in the top. They all deserve being in the top. Me too, right? It's disrespect say I'm the number 1 or he's the number 1 or the other is the number 1. I think we all deserve being in the top.
So for him to move up to 154 and go fight Tszyu over in Australia, he's going to make some money. And it's a legacy fight for him too. Because for one, he'll be moving up like Haney recently did at 140 and going right after a strap from somebody that is a legit, already looking like a Hall of Fame fighter. The son of Tszyu. This looks awesome on his resume. Terence Crawford said he only wants big fights. He only wants legacy fights to finish out his career. Him moving up and grabbing a strap from Tszyu, if it's that easy, because I don't see it as an easy task. And now with Bud moving up to 154, they can't use the excuse that he's the bigger guy and the other guy's moving up. Now he's the little guy moving up. This is very I want to say this is a very good fight if it's made. This is a very good fight. And I believe Tszyu wants to smoke. I already know Bud been wanting to smoke. This is nothing new to a Bud Crawford fan, that he would move up to 154 and challenge Tszyu upon request of Tszyu, because Tszyu been calling him out for a good hot minute. I watched Tszyu against Mendoza. Was it Brian Mendoza, his name? And he had a really good dominating performance against a guy that was tough. Mendoza wasn't just laying down in the ring. I mean, he was taking some punishment, but he was dishing some pretty good shots. But Tszyu looked good. He handled it like the champion he is. Now, this is the thing. If this fight is made and Terence Crawford does not knock Tszyu out, will he be robbed in Australia? Do you think he'll be robbed in Australia even if he gave a somewhat dominating performance? See, these are the questions. These are the risks. This is what lets you know that Terence Bud Crawford is confident in his skills. He's confident in his abilities. A man that's willing to go overseas. He was like, man, he saw Dev do that and he thought that was amazing. He said he thought it was great that Dev did that. And he wants to do something similar. I'm not trying to say he's trying to be like Devin. God, I be hating. I be hating that I even have to justify statements that I make, but this is how boxing fans work. You have to clarify your statements. So what I'm saying is Terence Bud Crawford wants to do great things. He wants to go to another man's yard, move up, and take his title. So you can't do nothing but give it up to Tszyu and to Bud Crawford if this fight is made. And you'll have to understand that that's the reason why Erickson Lubin, that's why he was, that's why he's being semi-passed up. This is a bigger fight. More people are going to pay to see this than him fight the number 2 Lubin. That's just common sense. All right. Even if he fought Virgil Ortiz, the name is just hotter than Erickson Lubin, even though he's a WBO number 2. Tszyu wants to be an American pay-per-view star. It's clear he does. And he's got everything to be that. He's got a legacy in the name itself. And he's not leaning on his dad's victories, his dad's name, his father's legacy at all. He's adding to it with his own legacy. He's not taking soft-ass opponents. Just like his dad didn't take soft-ass opponents. They fought the best. That's how you become the best. Terence Crawford is one of the best, and Tszyu is one of the best. These are the fights we want to see. These are the fights that make you be like, ooh, man, put that on pay-per-view, I'll buy it. So y'all tell me what y'all think. Because I don't want to hear nobody saying that Tszyu is ducking Erickson Lubin to fight Terence Crawford. That's so backwards. That doesn't even make sense. Terence Crawford is, in many's mind, like I said, pound for pound, the greatest fighter in the world, even according to his peers and other fighters. So Tszyu taking this fight shows greatness in Tszyu. Who do I have in this fight? I believe Terence Bud Crawford will beat Tszyu. I believe he can move up and beat Tszyu, but I don't think it's going to be easy. I think it's going to be the biggest test that Bud Crawford has had to date. Tszyu is not a phony-ass fighter. He's a legit fighter, a legit 154 champion. So for Tszyu, he's really at the, quote, advantage because he's already at 154. He's established at 154. Bud will be moving up to face him. So y'all let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think this is a great fight? Do y'all think that Lubin basically got, washed out? Like, nah, that's cool. That would have been a good fight if I didn't have this opportunity to fight Bud Crawford. That would probably been a good fight. But with Bud Crawford in the door, in the window, if the door is even cracked for a Terence Bud Crawford fight, Tim Tszyu is going to go fight Bud Crawford over anybody else, I promise you. That's the type of guy Tim Tszyu is. He's a real warrior. This guy is a beast. And so is Terence Crawford. That's why this will be a great fight for boxing. And y'all better show up and pay too. If they make this fight, y'all better show up and pay. All y'all Bud Crawford fans, y'all better show up and pay. You can best believe Australia's going to be in the building. If they doing it over in Australia, that fight is going to be sold out over there. America needs to do their part. Back Terence Crawford. Make sure y'all buy them tickets. Please let this fight come to be and not just be capped. That's all I got on this one, y'all. And about that boxing, like, subscribe, smash them notifications, and I'll see y'all in the next video.